I recently completed a job for a customer making Windows security screens out of some bars that he had collected. What I'm left with is about 30 or 40 of these drops of material, and I figured it'd be a good opportunity to throw them in the lathe and just see if I can clean them up a bit, see if they're worth keeping and using for other projects. This is one that I've sort of ran through the lathe, got a little hole there for the live centre to go in. Finish isn't the best, but I think I'm due to replace the carbide tool that I'm using. But as you can see, I mean, that's nice, you know, nice usable bit of solid bar there. So I've got quite a few to play around with. They're all, I've just been setting them up here in the HERCUS lathe. So basically what I'll do is I'll chuck them up, and I'll run my file over the end just to get a nice sort of, get most of the paint off and get a nice surface that we can grip onto with the chuck, spin it around, and then just do a light skim pass over the top to sort of take off the paint and the light rust that's on, and I'll get that set up. Okay, so I've got a small one chucked up in there. Let's give it a spin. Grab our file. Basically all we're trying to do is just create a cleaner surface so we can spin around and chuck up onto it. A couple of lumps at the end there. Let's have a look at that. There's a fair bit of pitting there. That should give us a nicer surface to set up in the chuck, and then we can have a look at turning from the other end. See how that looks. What I might do is might face that off first, and then we'll spin it around. Quite a bit out of square. A little skim. Alright, still a bit left to go there, but I think that'll do us just for the sake of being able to spin it around and chuck it up. So we'll do that. I think we'll face that off a little bit more. looks a bit better. So now what we'll do, we've got it set up for auto feed. There's our lever there. So to set that up, you need to drop it down. There we go. Okay, swap out our facing tool, put in our cutter. Basically I might come in and just touch off first and then we'll get the auto feed going. Alright, so we've got a bit of a clean up there, but not much. So really only getting that surface, it is quite out of round. What I might do is I'll set up the auto feed, make another pass, a bit deeper this time, then we'll come back and have a look. Alright, come in a little bit deeper that time. Still not getting a complete cut. Just about half of it not cutting. So we'll come in and go again, a bit deeper again. Alright, after that pass we're just about there. Just got that little area there, so I reckon that'll clean up with one more pass. But yeah, basically this just gives you an indication of, you know, the metal that's underneath all the rust and all the pitting, and it goes to show that, you know, it's worth hanging on to these things and repurposing them and, you know, recycle at the end of the day. As we know, steel prices are going through the roof, so why not save it if we can? Alright, so that's the end of our bar faced off. That's a fairly light skim over the top. As you can see, there's still a bit left to clean up. They're pretty heavily pitted. Yeah, I'll probably skim over that a couple more times just to bring it down. I'm not really going for any dimension, I just want to basically see the quality of the stock that I'm left with. And as I say, I've got about 30 or 40 of these drops, and rather than, you know, scrap them and throw them away. Or, you know, especially when you've got a lathe, you know, round stock is usually highly sought after. They come in various lengths. If it was any longer than this, that's where I bring in the live centre, just for a bit more rigidity. The thing is, with these smaller lathes, even though the HERCUS is quite rigid, you know, when you're dealing with a longer piece sticking out of the chuck, it can struggle a bit with a bit of chatter. So if it's a longer piece, I'll usually, you know, drill a hole in the end there and just pop the live centre in, and that just gives it a point between centres that make it more rigid. So yeah, just a little quick video to give you a look at, you know, there are possibilities of, you know, recycling these things rather than throwing them out. So there we go.